What's up, smarty people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Have you been accused of telling old jokes? I've been accused of telling old jokes. But my secret, I tell them to young people. On with the show. Here's 5 of the oldest jokes in history. For as long as humankind has existed and suffered, we've also laughed. Humor and jokes, specifically, have long been a part of our social anthropological culture, whether as a way to poke fun at the powerful or just to be plain silly. Even toilet humor, however gross, has often played a significant role in day-to-day life, amusing and shocking listeners with taboo topics. From the earliest days of civilization, laughter has brought people together despite their differences, serving as a tool for both enjoying life and bonding with one another. Here are some of the oldest jokes in history, observations, and witticisms that made people laugh thousands of years ago. Let's get right into it with the oldest recorded joke. The oldest joke on record dates back to 1900 BCE in ancient Sumer, the earliest known civilization in Mesopotamia. Rather than a conventional setup and punchline structure, the joke is more of an observation, something which has never occurred since the time immemorial. A young woman did not fart in her husband's lap. The double negatives throw in a bit of confusion, but the joke gets at a primary urge to hide certain imperfections from a romantic partner. I work at bars almost every week. Here's the first walked into a bar joke. The Sumerians also are credited with the first ever walked into a bar joke, dating to around 1983 BCE. It goes, quote, "A dog walks into a bar and says, 'I cannot see a thing. I'll open this one.' Though we're all familiar with bar jokes and the odd characters and animals who just so happen to walk into them, no one can quite sparse the meaning of this Sumerian joke or why it was funny. There are amateur theories ranging from the Sumerians appreciating, as we do now, random humor or the dog's blindness being some kind of pun. Until we have a time machine, it's likely to remain a mystery." Here's the first joke in English. A book of Anglo-Saxon poetry from the 10th century includes what researchers believe could be the first recorded joke in the English language. Quote, "What hangs at a man's thigh and wants to poke a hole that is often poked before?" The punchline, get your mind out of the gutter. A key. A lot of early humor relied on puns and presumed lewdness, the assumption that the answer to a joke would be filthy, only to have the expectation flipped in the punchline. That degree of surprise and awareness of your own assumptions often and still leads to laughter. Moving on to an ancient joke book. A 4th century CE joke book from Greece known as Philogelos, the Laughter Lover, is the oldest known collection of jokes. The work is credited to 2 unknown writers, Heracles and Philagrius, as a series of jests, witty quips, and moments of situational comedy. One example is this joke about a haircut. Quote, "Asked by the court barber how he wanted his haircut, the witty fellow replied, 'In silence.'" More than 1,000 years later, it's a sentiment so relatable, it's likely to bring a smile to your face. And finally, ancient stereotypes. Frank observations about men and women and their relationships have long made people laugh. Case in point, this ancient Egyptian joke from 30 BCE, which pokes fun at the cost of courtship. Quote, "Man is even more eager to copulate than a donkey. His purse is what restrains him. The joke appeared in an ancient papyrus Egyptian text known as the Instruction of Ankh-She-Shong. It's more of a wry instruction, as per the name of the document, found alongside other amusing notes on donkeys, such as, if a crocodile loves a donkey, it puts on a wig. That one's more of a thinker, but perhaps it's getting at the way we change for those we love. Did you find any of those jokes funny? This has been What Makes You Smarter. I hope you laughed a little bit. Those are the oldest jokes in history. So when you're saying, I'm telling you an old joke, I'm not telling you an old joke. Some jokes have been around for thousands of years. Almost 4,000 years was that first joke. Those are the 5 oldest jokes in history. Drop me some comments. Let me know if you have a good joke. Have you heard any good ones lately? Let me know. Maybe I'll tell them on the future episode of What Makes You Smarter. Like, share, subscribe. Stick around for more. This has been What Makes You Smarter. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.